Hello, welcome to Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour, getting spooky, because we're going to be running the Night Revels here in just a little bit. Have a little bit of news as well. Talk about the free coupon we released this week. You can talk about some performance work that we did this week. Have the latest news and plenty of time for your questions as well. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Let me get really to the news right away, because let's get to it. The first thing is that we launched our free content coupon this week. So it has a name. That name of the coupon code is Gather Your Party 2025. What other name could it possibly have been? Anyway, Gather Your Party 2025 will get you just really a ton of free questing. So please do apply this code. If you don't have any of this, just try applying the code. You don't even have to check if you have this stuff. Just apply it, and if you don't have it, you'll get it. That includes 32-point build characters for your account, Artificer Favorite Soul Warforged, and just a monster list of quest packs. And this runs through the coupon code for the free quest stuff. Runs through December 31st. The coupon code for 99 or not the coupon code, but we also do typically a 99-point sale in the DDO store as well. That only runs through November 2nd. It doesn't go quite as long because we do have other sales, including Black Friday and other holiday sales coming up. But through November 2nd, you can get 499 points, Fables of the Feywild, Masterminds of Sharn, Menace of the Underdark, Mists of Ravenloft, and the Shadowfell Conspiracy. These are the quest, basically the quest-only versions in the DDO store. So you get all the content, you don't get any of the goodies. Goodies are in the market. If you want the goodies, we do have end-of-year sales that they are often in, although I cannot comment whether or not they might be part of any sales this year, because I don't know. But I do know this coupon code went live this week. And yeah, so that is through December 31st. Gather Your Party 2025. The other big piece, though, is Night Revels, because Night Revels is running through November 4th. We have our guide up on DDO.com, so if you have any questions about how to run the Night Revels, you're a newer player, you just need a refresher, what have you, you can find it all here. We also have new rewards this year. The cosmetic rewards are, we have some screenshots. We basically have purple versions of the witch's hat, cloak, and robe. But then we also have, and the steed. And then we also have our first sentient gem. The sentient gem of the Black Abbot is in the reward list for this year's Night Revels. So there are now at least 2 reasons why, if you are a DDO player, really whatsoever, you should at least run Night Revels, the whole chain, run it through once, and probably get that sentient gem as well. But it might take a little more than run through it all once, though. However, it won't take that long to get. It's got a fairly hefty reward list because it's pretty hot. That said, it ain't that bad. You can get it done. Night Revels is not really particularly hard to get items for. At least I have never had problems. And if I don't have problems and feel comfortable saying that, you'll be alright. There's a big list, though. If you want all that stuff and you want all the high-level stuff, yeah, that's going to be lots of work. But just to get one new item, you'll be fine. Got plenty of time to do it. You won't have to spend any money if you don't want to, and you'll be just fine. So, alright, we're going to actually show off some Night Revels here in just a bit, but let me finish up the news section because we have a couple more bits I want to get to. We do have a Patron's Coffer out. This debuted just, a week or so ago. This runs through October 12th. This isn't Halloween themed exactly, but it's also not October themed. So, this is going through October 12th as well. Please do check it out. That's what I'm wearing right now in-game when we do get inside of the game. We also have a good weekend boost if you are looking for XP. Now, I would note, this does not work for the Night Revel stuff. The Night Revels are challenges, so it would need to be a challenge XP boost for it to apply to Night Revels. However, this weekend we have a 20% Heroic and Epic XP weekend. That's through October 5th, and that's a good way to level up. You can get your Night Revels keys from defeating champions and such, so pretty good weekend to be doing some XP getting, if that's what you're looking for. The other bit, though, before I move on, I want to mention it's been a busy week, as you can tell. There's actually a few things yet to talk about, but the next bit of news here really relates to us opening our Ghost Worlds. Yep, we were able to open our Ghost Worlds this week as well. October 1st, Ghost Worlds open, totally unintended. Nonetheless, that's how it worked out. Honest for realsies. And they're now open. So, what does that mean? That means that you can log into the old 32-bit game worlds to finish up whatever you need to do to transfer, and then get off them to a 64-bit game world. You can't do any questing and things like that. They're going to be open for at least 2 years, so tons of time to get this done. We are working on a few bits right now that we know about. The first one I would mention is that this week has seen a rush. We're not entirely surprised that there would be a bunch of people up front who would like to do this work, but nonetheless, it's actually quite a bit higher than even we predicted. So what does that mean? That means if you've been trying to transfer this week since Wednesday and you've been running into problems, it's simply due to the overwhelmed nature of the transfer service. So what's going to happen is once that subsides and things kind of chill out a little bit, you'll get through. And we saw that overnight on the forums and elsewhere. Players reporting, say, overnight when the demand was quite low, they were able to transfer 3-5 characters without issue, pretty much instant. We, on the other end, are seeing a steady, constant flow of transfers happening, so we know that there are tons of successful transfers, but we also know that demand is very, very high, and it's sort of crushing the service at times. So that means you're going to see things like errors and an inability to transfer right now. So give it time if you need to. Try maybe off hours, not peak times, if you need to. And today has already been quite a bit lower than the day before, which was very high, and then the day before that was also very high. So we'll see how the weekend goes in terms of your ability to successfully transfer from these Ghost Worlds. But they are open. You can get them ready to go and do that transfer work when you can be successful. The other piece I am looking into really comes from the DDO Discord, and I know that others are probably already looking at this, but one of the things we're aware of is a report of someone who is struggling in a reincarnation setup. Like their characters flagged for reincarnation, and they're trying to pack, but they can't pack till they finish their reincarnation because they were stuck with the Fate Spinner. And there may be some number of players in a position like that, for example, and we're working on some of those concerns as well. But otherwise, generally the Ghost World stuff is cooking along just fine, other than the fact that the transfer service itself has been pretty much overwhelmed since Wednesday, except for the overnights. So, but that's the state of things, and that's now open for at least a couple of years. We'll let you know when we actually do need to close these 32-bit game worlds permanently. Once this is done, there will be no other chances to get your characters, but it's going to be at least October 1st, 2027 before that happens, and who knows, it may go longer. We'll see. It did last time, but we'll see what happens this time. I think that's most of the news, other than we are working on, not next week, but perhaps the week after, we are working to do our first Lamania of the next raid. We'll see. We'll see if we hit that mark. But theoretically, sometime around mid-October, we could see our first preview of the new Chill of Ravenloft raid on Lamania. We're also hard at work on the Fae-themed event That isn't dead. That's totally happening. We're being quiet about it because it is sort of an event similar to the other events we've done, so you can maybe expect to be a little bit surprised about it. But at the same time, we've hinted that it's a Fae-themed event, and a lot of the pretty much final work on that got done this week or is in process of getting done, so that's coming together really nicely as well. That'll be happening in the near future. In December, we're working on something like a typical December game update, which is usually something like a bit of free content, bug fixing, and things to really wrap up our final game release of the year, and other things as well. But we've got at least a couple updates before then, but you know, that is what we're up to. One last bit. This comes from Severlin. Let me put this up on the forums because I wanted, or put this up from the forums because I wanted to talk quickly about game performance. Probably the #1 topic of all time that I get on this show is, what are you doing about lag? So we did do some work this week. This Wednesday, we were able to add, or actually not Wednesday, but Thursday, on Shadowdale and Thrain, we were able to add some new hardware to the environment. So this is directly about being able to support higher population times on Shadowdale and Thrain, like, say, Friday night through the weekend in particular. So we're going to see how this goes this weekend and what kind of impact it had. Last night was pretty good on Shadowdale. I was running Chilla Ravenloft quests myself, but it was a Thursday night, so we're really going to know more this weekend. But I wanted to point out that we have been able to add resources to both Thrain and Shadowdale, about 15%, more than 15% of the functional server size. So this should help prime time. As Severlin has stated, this will not push us over the edge for resolving all lag. However, we are preparing the next round of updates, focused on improving dungeon and landscape destruction performance. The earlier work was the one that we did about rocks and other frill entity counts. That was a very important step, not just because it removed all that stuff and made it client-side, but it also helped us be able to ensure that the central server can handle the addition of these server nodes. So it was all part of the work that's done. But we have this dungeon and landscape destruction performance work that will also be going live here, presumably in one of the next few updates would be my guess. But we'll see. It can't go live till it's tested and ready, and it's 4:13 p.m. on this Friday. That's not the case. I think I got through the news. Let me take a look at chat. All right, there we go. I'm going to start at the top. You just spent $1,000 on a game set. Please feel sorry for you. I mean, it all depends, right? It all depends. I know that pain, though. I myself, some of you may know that I am a bit of a Tron nerd. And by bit, I mean, like, gigabit. So, I'm going to be having a very exciting week next week when a certain movie comes out. I may be taking next Wednesday off of work because of it, and I may be seeing it in Giganto IMAX 3D stuff. So I understand like this kind of thing that might lead you to spend a whole bunch of money on fun. I'm going to be supportive though, rather than feel sorry for you. Okay. It looks like we accidentally left the Quiver of Alacrity with an augment slot off the coupon code. Maybe it's become a little bit of a meme for the show. Just for the record, I don't think I actually support this quiver. I don't think we should add more power to our quivers. Maybe we should add more quivers with power. But I don't think we need to add more power to quivers. Someone tried the new sentient jewel and, quote, found it to be the cringiest sentient jewel out there. Well, that's both a negative and a positive then, isn't it? Some people might like that. Also, you're wrong. I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually heard it yet. I would be very, very, very surprised if that was the case, though, because the voice actor who did the sentient jewel of the Abbot was the original voice actor who did the modern version of our Abbot, and that person is quite talented. So I pretty much guarantee you that maybe it may not be to your taste, but it can't be that bad. Now, my sentient jewel might be that bad. Sentient jewel of the Abbot, no. I have a question. Why is the Graveyard Quest level 1+, but the Candy Material Quests are level 7+? I believe this has to do with a minimum level of the scaling tech. And the reason for that is the Graveyard Quest can scale landscape difficulty differently than the instance dungeons that are made up for challenges. And the reason I don't think 7 goes down to 1 is because you can get to a point where the scaling essentially breaks. And I think that 7 is about the minimum that we can set it and have it go as high as we want it to go. I think that's the answer to that. Perhaps a systems person like Steelstar could speak more to it, but I believe that's why it doesn't go all the way down to level 1. Alright. How busy is support right now? Unfortunately, very, very busy. Let me change cameras here while I talk. Yes, unfortunately, customer support is quite busy right now, and that has led to tickets taking longer than we would like. We're aware of this, and they are working as quickly as possible to get all of our tickets resolved. We know that we still have transfer tickets to deal with, some purchase issues to deal with, a whole bunch of stuff, and it's, in some cases, taking longer than we'd like. So please do have patience with your CS staff. They are a bit overwhelmed right now, and they are working as quickly as they can to get to everyone's tickets. I know, Secular, I have not played the game you're asking about. I've certainly seen my share of things with that name on it at Gen Con and elsewhere, but I haven't played that particular game. I want to just quick update chat here, because as long as we're going on a loot adventure together, let's bring you with me. You'll notice that I have done a little bit of work on... Oh, not this one. This one. I got the melancholic plating on my legendary Gravekeeper's armor, and I got my miserable slot, which gets me my magic resistance rating. So I'm looking pretty good there. I also did find a colorless balance 17 diamond that is suitable enough just to get me up slightly faster when I do get knocked down, although I don't really find myself getting knocked down too much. And you'll notice I have one slot left. That's the Dolorous slot. You'll notice over on the Victranium Experiment Crafting Station that I'm getting there. I am getting there. All I need is the Bleak Conductors, and that, I think, I might be getting just as a byproduct of the work to get the 50 Bleak Transformers. So, getting 50 Bleak getting 36 Bleak Transformers is next on the Cordovan Order of Business this weekend on Shadowdale. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow or whatever, but I'm probably going to put up an LFM. And because that worked great last time. Basically, whoever wants to come in and out, we're just going to be grinding for Bleak Transformers. What that means is we hit the 3 bosses in the wilderness landscape. I don't worry about the other rares, although if you happen to come across one and want to loot the chest, go for it. But I'm just popping between the 3 fights. Do fight 1, fight 2, fight 3. See if they're there. If they're there, we defeat them, we get the stuff. Then we bop back to right here, reset the wilderness, go in and do it. And after I got 100 of these things for my weapon crafting in about an hour and a half doing that. So that wasn't bad. That was not bad at all. However, it would most certainly not be an hour and a half if I was trying to solo this. I can most assure you that. Because that ain't happening. Because if I try to do it solo, I'm going to get pounded into the dirt. I might do okay, kind of, for a while. But it's going to be a slog. Put up quick LFM, get some buddies in, just knock that sucker out over and over until everyone has their stuff. Good times, and not actually very hard to do. High Lords did 3 raids last night. 2 were virtually lag-free. Threats lagged hard, though. My own experience yesterday was I had 0 lag whatsoever. Like, I was actually like, oh, wow, did we do it? Did we actually, can I actually have no anxiety this weekend related to DDO game performance? And the answer is no, because I did in fact have one pretty significant lag spike last night. However, that may have been more related to my end, because I was streaming a movie and some other stuff that I had just clicked over into some advertising at the time and things. I don't know. But I can tell you, other than that, my experience last night was fantastic. So I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing how things go this weekend. Of course, I hope it's that good. But whatever happens, we'll find out. Well, now you've got me curious. I am definitely going. Actually, I'm in House Tarasco. What am I doing here? The voice actor for the Sentient Jewel was mentioned by Celestrata, I believe, on the forums this week. The name, I don't have the post called up, and nor do I know the name myself. But it's the same voice actor who does the Abbott raid right now. Alright, well, I have some keys. Let's look at the new rewards here first. I'm not going to show off the items themselves, because you can just see them yourself. But this is the Sentient Jewel of the Black Abbot. And you need a lot. But you don't need as much as you need that mount. I mean, look at that, right? 60 versus 240. Maybe we should have flipped that one around. But either way, a little more than you need for the Hag Queen's hat. But not that much. You'll get this. You'll get what you need after, well, X amount of runs, I guess. Let's find out. So let's go to the crypt. We do have in the guide, if you want to look up which quests give you which reward, it is in our guide. So I would also point out that there is a bug that's going to be fixed with our next game update. And that is that we never quite fixed the spooky almond issue from last year. So that's still in place. And then we're permanently going to put Carmel for Kobold's newest ringleader. I think that's the deal.
The darkness of Maybar has transformed this place into a corrupt shadow of what it once was.
I don't have the sound files from the Abbott Gem, just sort of on hand to play for you. The way that the sound files are often done in the game client is they're Ogg Vorbis files. Generally not super, they're not like top file size, bandwidth size, because we do need to manage game client size on that, but it's a moderately good quality Ogg Vorbis file is typically how that's done. And I haven't actually, those are just kind of added through the compiler program that you use to make a game build. So I myself have not actually seen the sentient jewel files. I would need to go into our build management system. I'd find them and then download them, essentially. And I've not done that, so. But maybe I can get someone to pop them in show me where they are, and then I can just throw them in Adobe Audition or something real quick and get something put together as an MP3 or WAV file, and then put it up on YouTube or the stream here or something like that. But we've frankly just been too busy with everything else this week to make that any kind of consideration. Lizzie has said hello. Hello, Lizzie. I don't know if her meow came through, but I'm going to say probably. Yeah, I know. Well, gosh. She's very, very meowy at the moment. Well, I may need to take a little minute break here. But let's, we get through this quest first. Perhaps I let her food dish get empty. That sounds like a meow of a food dish that needs to, that may be empty. But. Okay. Oh, yeah, so they actually have, I figured that's the other thing, is players tend to take care of that for us in some ways on the sentient jewels. So you're saying that it's already up on the wiki or whatever? The sentient jewel repository, which I don't actually know where that is, but if you want to drop a link and it works, maybe? Actually, I don't think you're going to be able to drop a link. Can I give like a running update on which quests are getting lag fixes and such so we can try them out? It's typically not done on a quest-by-quest basis, although sometimes it is. We saw that actually fairly recently with some of the frill work, where you had to go directly into a bunch of quests to do that work. But otherwise, typically, it depends. There's, in the same way that there's never one source of lag, there's never going to be one solution to it. So the idea of, okay, well, we fixed lag in this quest, now go check it out and let us know if it worked. That's just not really how it would work. I think under a scenario like that, perhaps we could do like a Lamania, where it was, okay, we've done targeted work on the following quests, so let us know how it goes, something like that. And that would probably be the way that would be handled, would be through a Lamania preview as part of a updates check-ins. Did you miss any good news? I think so. Night Revels is here, tons of free stuff. Got our raid preview in the works for Lamania a couple weeks from now. New sentient jewel. I'm going to see a third Tron movie that actually got released and made. What the heck? I've been one of those nerds since the 80s on it, right? I'm a big fan. And I didn't really know that we were going to get another one, to be honest. And so I'll just enjoy it regardless of how good or bad it is. Will it be Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, or will it be Jaws 3 in 3D? Not that I hate Jaws 3D. But you know what I mean. So, one of the reasons we felt more comfortable bringing out the Night Revels event is because we had targeted Night Revels for some number of years to reduce their game performance impact. And a lot of that work is what led to what you're calling Maybar, which was the old version of it. as much as some people might say, well, oh, I'd love to see those come back, the answer is no, because it's the reason, I mean, it's among the reasons that it was all laggy and stuff, right? I think it is unlikely that they would come back in any kind of one-to-one style form. It was really the landscape that was more the issue than the quests, but the whole structure of Night Revels back then is really what needed to be jettisoned and rebuilt. And so the idea of now that we fixed it, well, let's bring it all back. I'm going to say probably not. So I'm looking for, well, I'm just kind of finishing up boxes, but I'm also looking for the kobold guy. Alright, so we are going to the next room. Yeah, this is a bit of a slower quest, so once you get the hang of it, or you're in a group, you can just kind of split up and get it done. I'm a little slow right now because I haven't run the Night Revel stuff since last year. But I remember by the time you roll through this a few times, you'll get real good at it. And it'll go a lot faster. And there's, with the exception of our caramel concern, why we have 3 quests with spooky almonds and only 1 with caramel, you do have 2 quests as an option. So if one of the quests is perhaps not to your taste, we do give you a second option for any of the ingredients that you might need. Just check Legendary Shroud to see if there is lag or not? Okay. There you are. Now, where are we at next? Down here. No, not down here yet. This quest really will go significantly faster for you if you've got some friends with you. But, okay, where... I can't remember, is there anything down there? Is it just that consumable? Okay. Alright. I need to... See, I checked that room, so I should check... Let's check down. Except that I can't. So I need to go back over this way. Okay, that's the shrine room I was just in. There's pumpkin. Alright, we're back here. So, and we know that's cleared out. So let's try to use some logic to the extent. Oh, are you still there? I realize I'm still going through your chat. You're right. There's been a long-standing problem with the way that we degrade the... okay, wait a second. I'm running into an issue here. What am I not doing? I'm trying to think a bit out loud here. What is it that I'm not doing that I'm supposed to do with sneaked? Did I screw something up? Clearly, but what? Okay, so I can't do that because I don't know the sneak it. Sneak it's not there. Sneak it's still back by the other crate, but he's not moving. Oh, all the shadows in the middle room? Okay, so you're saying there's shadows up here still? I don't see any. Yeah, there's no... I don't see any shadows here either yet. Yeah. Alright, so... Well, the problem is that I'm blocked off here, right? Because I can't go through here anymore. I'm not seeing any shadows. And yeah, so I'm just kind of going in a loop here. Huh. Yeah, I might need to D-door on that one, or just recall out and try something different. Yep. In the meantime, hello. All right, you can't meow this much and not end up on the live stream. Oh crap, she says. He's got me now. Hello. All right, let's do this again. Yes. Hello, Miss Elizabeth. You have something you'd like to tell the Twitch chat, I understand. No? Okay. Well, I will be back in 1 minute here. And we'll give that another shot. Or maybe run a different dungeon. Yep. Oh gosh. Alright. Hello, everyone. Alright, 1 minute. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we'll just run a different quest here. Sorry about that, folks. As you can tell, my cat was not happy that I did not have her late afternoon snack ready. So, I guess On the other hand, we haven't
An
seen her in a
unnatural
while, so...
darkness has descended upon this valley, and a restless wind groans through the tree. A necromancer has made his home somewhere in these desolate woods.
I'll bring back my
You'll need to find him before you can face
healer a little bit. Let me get Twitch chat back up on the screen here. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, not sorry. People like it when Lizzie's here, of course, but she was like, I don't care about your live stream. Your live stream is not relevant here.
But the spellcaster is under attack
Oh,
by a group
man.
of scarecrows.
Oops. Ah! Alright. Okay, we're all good up here. So, let's move on. I think that given the state of both Broadway and pop culture, that a Jaws the musical would probably be quite successful. If I were a theater investor, I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, we could do that. Kids will love it. That's my thoughts. I'd say that's my thoughts about a Jaws musical. Not opposed, probably wouldn't go. But that has nothing to do with the fact of it being Jaws the musical, really. So. Or very minimally. Alright. Yeah, that's true. So, Druid's Fire, I know that you were able to rescue a little kitten recently, and we've been seeing that kitty on your social media feed and presumably live streams. I have to admit, I've been a little busy myself to watch a lot of live streams, but I know the kitty's doing good. That is one cute little baby kitty, too. Yes, so the AVK, that we're tentatively hoping to get our first Lamania raid preview out not next week, but the week after that. So if everything works out, it could be around middle of the month here. And I currently see on our schedule that we have 2 raid previews. One for, earliest we can get it out. Basically, the next one for iteration on the first one. How do I avoid cabin fever from working at home all the time? I have to admit that I'm a bit of a homebody, so that was never a big concern for me. I'm one of those people who kind of enjoys hermiting it up inside of my house. So, like in real life, I'm not particularly social. And when I read Jack Kerouac's On the Road, where he was like in a forestry ranger tower for like 6 months and was going stir crazy, I was like, man, I kind of want to do that. That sounds awesome. Would love that. So, given that, it was pretty easy for me. But what I do suggest for people who don't work from home very much is remember that often when you were in an office, you will be up and about doing different things. And it really isn't healthy to just sit at your desk, literally for 6-8 hours a day without moving and things like that. It's bad for your legs, bad for circulation, and a whole bunch of things, really. So whether you kind of want to or not, I like to get a little habit of about once an hour. Just kind of get up and move about and walk around and do something, whether it's go outside, walk around the house a bit, and what have you. So that's what I do, I guess. But then I tend to take my cat outside about once a day. And so that's another opportunity to get out and about a little bit. And that's really just kind of how I handle it. I am not aware of that particular bug, Couch Ranger. The Thorn form for Dampier and Blightcaster. It just simply doesn't exist, you're saying? Like in terms of the APR or whatever, just simply non-existent? That would clearly be something we would need to file as an art bug and get resolved. Perhaps we already have and I just don't know about it, because that's a little bit of an in the weeds one for me. But please do consider, if that is directly impacting you and you can get a good screenshot or something, please do consider sending in a bug report on that. It would be useful. So. Well, speaking of wishes, if you've noticed that we have a brand new sale that we're trying out here this week, and this week's standard weekly sale, and it does include a wish for memories and such. So we're basically, as of this week, doing exactly what you want there, Secretary Squirrel, which is to provide, although it's not a combo item in that, but we are, in fact, putting that stuff on sale this week at 30% off. So that's a pretty good deal. And the first time we've done that, really. So, well, I don't know about the items, but it's the first time we're debuting this sale. Will we ever get Kobold as a race to play? I don't know. It's possible we could get Kobold as a race to play. But I would say it's also possible we wouldn't. The days where we could kind of more, I think, commercially justify it may have passed. But then again, maybe it totally hasn't. So we'll see. All right. So the idea of, quote, a timer pause when lag takes place would be a somewhat difficult one. I think if we had the ability to control in a on-off state various systems based on detection of lag, that I think it might beg the question of perhaps you should fix the lag. If you can measure it that closely. So no, I think that would probably not be technically possible nor feasible to have some kind of detection of lag and then pause timers for it. What would you like to see done? Need more Kai, or need more Chai. You're saying, is there any talk about, quote, looking at the extra XP that Reaper mode grants versus Elite? Right now it is true that typically Reaper mode does provide a nice large boost to XP, and people who are more of the opinion that Reaper should be about experience rather than any sort of benefit would have sometimes expressed a desire to us to remove that XP bonus under the idea that it, quote, overly forces them to run on Reaper. That's about what I guess I could speak to, but I have not heard of plans to adjust Reaper XP in a way that would remove that benefit. We have considered just about everything over the years in terms of user interface. User interface remains one of the larger projects that we're going to have to get to someday, and you know, we'll see when we get there. But some level of accessibility would be a lovely feature set to do as part of a large amount of UI work that could be done. The amount of UI work we could do is a lot, frankly, and I think we recognize that. We are a game that is getting ready to celebrate its 20th anniversary, after all. And user interface in video games has changed just a little bit from the early 2000s.
You approach the chieftain's final resting place, only to find that the door has been sealed from within. The necromancer may know of a way to draw out the chieftain. The slaughter of the Minotaur skeletons.
I am aware of the question. Okay, the one person said they have seen an, quote, SSG Facebook post with the wrong coupon code in it. I saw that myself. I raised that to the team this afternoon. They raised out to the company in charge of said promotional effort. And I would expect, if it has not already been pulled, it will be pulled shortly. Would be my expectation. The fact that you're bringing it to my attention now leads me to think that clearly that work has not quite been fully successful yet. But nonetheless, I'm aware of it, and that should be fixed any minute now, really. Sometimes, especially when you get to Facebook posts, it depends on, you can pull something and it'll still show up for a little bit. But I don't know what the deal is with this one specifically. All right, let me try to get to chat here real quick. I also realize I haven't actually spoken to the necromancer yet. I need to do that yet. I thought I did speak to the necromancer, but clearly not. So let me just pop out again real quick and take care of that. All right. What am I doing here? Yeah, it's right. I love my cleric builds, as you know, and they are awesome for Night Revels because you can just dominate. Now you're not going to do much against these needle blights so much unless you've got respect for. Can you be Spectre Needle Blights? Because I know you can do elementals, but I don't know if that counts or not. Anyway. Okay, wait a second. I did speak to the necromancer, so why am I... Oh. Interesting. Well, that's fine. I'm about ready to wrap up the show anyway in a few minutes. Yeah, I didn't finish talking to the necromancer. All right. Yeah, but... So where did the necromancer go? What did I do? What a disaster of a questing bit for the show here today. But that's okay. Okay. All right. Can't win them all, I guess. But yeah, but see, there's no necromancer here. So where did I put him out? Isn't that over here? Oh my god. Well, that's fine. We're gonna basically call it a show here anyway. Oh, he's there? Man, do I really need new glasses that badly? Oh, he is there. Oh my god. Okay.
Grimsby the
There we are.
Necromancer hands you an enchanted talisman. Now to find a way into the seemingly abandoned village.
Yeah, now to find a way. Oh, hey, look. Weirdly abandoned and half-destroyed village. How did that happen? No, I genuinely didn't see that. Speaking of higher contrast UI options. I'm going on glasses that are frankly a little too old. I need to get a new set for sure. The fact that I genuinely could not see that might well be an indicator, huh?
You found the chieftain's final resting place. You remove the necromancer's talisman from your pack and hold it out toward the gate. Before you know it, a portal appears. The Matador chieftain glares down at you as he steps through the portal. How brave of you coming to face me. But when I kill you, you'll regret making the trip. The chieftain's bones clatter to the ground. This time, you vanquished him once and for all. Or so you hope.
There we go. Like I say, if you really only need 50 of those things to get that sentient gem, and you get 33 on this one run, which went kind of slow and I need to remember how to do this. You can get that sentient gem done pretty quickly here if you're looking for it. So, well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching Fridays at 4 with me on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I'll be back next Friday with a whole lot more, and see you then. Bye-bye.